It can be so difficult to start cooking again after a brain injury or another major illness, injury, or even if you've been under a lot of stress. You might have gotten into the habit of buying a lot of takeout, eating a lot of frozen dinners, and that's okay because we need to eat. We need to fuel our bodies, and if the best you can do right now is grabbing a pizza on the way home, good job for figuring out something for dinner. That is awesome. My name's Larissa and I have a brain injury. I was in a major car accident and for a long time I lived on takeout and food that other people made for me and brought to me. But today I'd like to share a couple of the recipes that helped me to get back into cooking. In my videos, I usually focus on one recipe at a time, but today I'm going to talk about two. Both of today's recipes come from Stephanie O'Day's cookbook, which is called 5 Ingredients or Less Slow Cooker Cookbook, and I will link to it below. I like these recipes because they are easy to make the day ahead, and then you put them into the slow cooker the day that you want them. So it kind of breaks up your time in the kitchen. And I also like these two recipes together. One is a chicken recipe and the other is a winter root vegetable stew. So you can put those together or you can just do the root vegetable stew and get a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. So let's start with the marinated overnight chicken. You start with 2 to 3 pounds of skinless chicken thighs and put them right into one of the larger zipper seal bags. To that bag, you're going to add half a cup of balsamic vinegar. So between the vinegar breaking down the meat fibers and the fact that you're using chicken thighs, which are already tender, oh my gosh, this chicken is so good. You're going to add a tablespoon of whatever oil you've got on hand. I use avocado, but you do you. And a teaspoon of oregano. The recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. I usually use a 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes because I like to kick it up a bit. If I know that my dad is coming over for dinner, I'm gonna up that even more. And if I know that I am going to be eating with my mom, I omit the chili flakes altogether because they do give it a bit of a kick. So if you don't like spice, don't add the chili flakes. You're going to take that bag, seal it up, and put it into your fridge. So that's your prep done. Then in the morning, you're going to add the ingredients to your slow cooker. If you use a liner, I recommend it, because then you're not having to clean out the whole slow cooker, which can be difficult and time consuming. And if you are healing from a brain injury or another injury, lightening your workload is going to help you out in the long run. So you're going to leave that to cook on low for about 7 or 8 hours. And then you're going to have this delicious moist chicken. You could really add it to anything. You could add it to pasta. You can make some mashed potatoes on the side, open a can of peas, and you're done for dinner. So the chicken can be done by itself. And if you know you're going to have a busy day, you're at doctor's appointments, there are meetings after school with the kids, you can put this on and you know that you'll have a delicious, healthy, hot meal when you get home. Recipe number 2, winter vegetable stew. I like this recipe. You can leave it overnight or you can cook it during the day and then just pick up a rotisserie chicken on the way home. I only have one large slow cooker and then one small slow cooker. If I were doing these both together, I would cook the root vegetables overnight with a liner in my slow cooker, and then in the morning take the stew, put it into a container, stick it in the fridge for the day, and put the chicken into the slow cooker to cook over the day. And then you can just reheat the veggies when you get home at the end of the day and you've got a complete meal done. For the winter vegetable stew, you're going to dice up 2 onions, you'll need to dice up 3 cups of butternut squash. So about a whole butternut squash, or you can usually at the grocery find it pre-peeled and diced in containers. You need 1 cup of sliced carrots, and that can be 2 or 3 carrots, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon each of salt and pepper, and then 6 cups of bone broth. I'll link the one that I've spoken about in past videos below, and I will also link this guy. I've recently been trying the Organica. I found it's a little less expensive than the other brands, and it's not overly flavored. Bone broths are not supposed to have a strong flavor to them, so this is a mild flavor, and it helps to add a protein boost to whatever you add it to. The winter vegetable stew goes into your slow cooker for 8 to 10 hours. And then you can use a handheld immersion blender. Just pulse it a couple of times to moosh up all of the butternut squash and kind of blend everything together. You can add lentils, or you could add beans. I like white kidney beans in there. You can add chicken. This gives you a couple of great options. You've got your chicken dish, you've got your root vegetable dish, and you can incorporate them in different ways. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it helps you to start cooking for yourself again and gives you some healthy, easy, low effort meal options. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out our recipes playlist where we've got a bunch of different food tips and other recipes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all sorts of tips. Thank you for watching, and please remember that you are not alone in your concussion.